gonna start with step ups. These should feel very challenging. So I think I started you off with 15-pound dumbbells. Step up alternating. Keep one foot on the bench. So you know this movement. I don't have a name for it, but you're gonna say you got a right foot step up, step all the way up, plant your left foot, step down with your right. Now drive the left heel up, drive, step down with the left. Make sure those hips are facing forward. The back foot stays facing forward, that you're not turning out at all. So use your mirror to check in on your alignment. Then you're gonna do a front hold with 2 dumbbells, or I'll show you front hold with 1 dumbbell. So I've got a 20-pound dumbbell here. I'm holding it up front. My hands, my palm is underneath. It's like the front squat that we were doing. It's gonna be a narrow stance. That bench is kind of in my way, so I'm gonna go from the side. All right, so it's a narrow stance squat. It's a squat and abduct. Other side, squat and abduct. Squat and abduct. So the leg that you're lifting, both legs should be really engaged. The leg that you're standing on, that hip should be really engaged so that you don't pop the hip out or drive it in this direction either. It stays underneath your shoulder. And then this leg, as you're lifting out, you should think about squeezing your butt as you lift that leg out. It doesn't need to be a huge movement. I just want those muscles really engaged and taut. So those are your first 2 movements. Next, you're gonna move into chest and shoulders. I didn't bother to set up the bands because it doesn't really work for a fly. But you're gonna be at your cables, isolating chest, just an upper body movement. Cables are gonna be set up at about chest height. You're gonna come out in front, I'll face this way. Come out in front, into a staggered stance, hips are squared off. That back foot is planted on the ground, so you have, you're nice and grounded. You should feel heavy. Arms should be nice and long. Into, out to. Think about squeezing from here, right? Into, out to. Exhale as you squeeze. As you get heavier, if I ask you to go up in weight, you might find that you're bending your elbows a little bit. That's reasonable, but you want to keep the arms as long as you can. You don't want to end up having this kind of, you don't want this kind of chest fly, right? Then you're gonna grab fairly light dumbbells for transverse lunge, lateral raise. So that's the cross behind lunge. You're gonna alternate directions. Arms again should be pretty straight. And instead of bringing your hands all the way close to your body, start with your hands just a little bit outside your hips where you feel the lateral portion of your shoulders actually supporting the dumbbells. You're gonna step behind and raise as you bring your feet together. Step behind and raise as you bring your feet together. Think about keeping those knuckles pointing up. Wrists are rigid. Tempo's still 202. It's not fast, it's nice and controlled. So chest shoulder combination. There'll be more of that later. Focusing on back here on these next 2 movements. The first one's gonna be a lat pull down. We're going back to the wide grip. Just some things to keep in mind as you're sitting there. You should be leaning back just slightly so your shoulders are a little bit behind your hips. Hands are outside of the shoulders. They're not close in here. They're outside here. Eyes are looking forward. Your chin is not tucked and your head's not back either. And you're pulling the bar towards your collarbone. Thinking about bringing your elbows towards the back of the room. Up 2, down 2 tempo. Then at the cables, you're going to do a reverse lunge and a close grip row. So palms are going to stay facing in. You're going to set the handles at about waist height, and you're engaged with your arms straight to start. You're all lunge back, and then row as you bring your feet together. Lunge back and row. So if I've told you 8 reps, it's 8 reps of the row, not 8 reps of alternating lunge. So if you're finding that the red bands are too easy, bump it up to the black. It should be a controlled tempo. correction on that last movement. I realized you're using the cables, not the bands. So it should be 8 to 12 rows. Go up in weight if you find yourself above 12 reps. Shoulders are going to be last. Shoulders and chest again. Shoulder chest combo. You're going to start with a seated wide grip shoulder press, and you're going to keep the bench flat. So you're not going to have the back for support. Facing your mirror, straddle your bench. Feet out in front of you, ankles underneath your knees, hands right up in front of the shoulders, and you're pressing straight up. Straight elbows. Not with the hands quilling forward and not arching your low back. So keep the abs engaged, pressing up, down to, up to. Really keep those abs involved. Then you're going to go down to a mat. Working chest. You're going to do a close grip chest press. At the same time, you're doing a bridge. So, I'm going to give you a modification to make it more challenging. Alright? So, starting off with a regular bridge. Feet planted on the ground. Elbows staying close to the body. Make sure you're nicely aligned, that your spine feels straight on the mat, that everything feels lined up. And elbows staying close to the body. Press up. That's the shoulder press. Now we're going to add the bridge. So pressing up, hips come up, and lower. So I said 15 pounds, because I think you were doing these on a BOSU with 15, but I think with the support of the ground, you can probably go to 20. But if you want to keep the weight light, you can make the lower body part more challenging. Bring those feet close together, turn into a single leg bridge. Do half of your reps. And then switch legs. So that's what you're finishing with, chest and shoulders.